Nakamura! My name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, storyteller, artist and mature, and we're following up on that promise. We're continuing where we left off. And again, you might have noticed there's a little bit of a discrepancy on the very upper file. That's because the day that we're recording this, I did actually stream, so yeah, we made a little more progress. But that aside, we're back with more CrisTales for the second and, let's hope, last iteration of the post-production redo thing. I'm a hope for the best, but let's face it, something's probably gonna go wrong at some point, because that's just how my life ends up going.
Can I help you?
No, you can't.
Well, I can't let just anyone in, you see?
You must be new. I'm Christopher. I'm guessing my mother left instructions to let me pass if I ever showed up again.
Ah, indeed she did. She's talking with the general just now, but I'm sure she will be free soon. I will tell her that you are here.
Good. Now get out of my way before I make you fill your armor.
And so, we aim to move from a 4 times increase in output this season to as much as 5 or 6 times a normal yield before the winter.
But if I were you, I would place an order now. Supplies of rubies might be going up, but not as fast as the demand for them is.
What the people demand is justice!
Oh no, Dad, not again.
What is going on?
My dad, he does this sort of thing, stirring up trouble, constantly campaigning against inequality in the city.
You sit up here living in luxury, while those who mine the rubies live in squalor!
How did he get here? Someone, escort this instigator out, please.
Yeah! And not only that, you've been monopolizing our resources!
Ugh, now the inventor girl is here too? This has gone too far, Armando. You've crossed the line. Guards, take these rabble-rousers out.
No, I think they have a point.
Wait, you seem familiar.
Do less talking and more listening, Risa. This is how a leader leads. Look how he's convinced the whole room to buy from him.
I don't remember you saying that. Did I miss something?
I'm paying. Who might you be?
Sophia's son, if you really need to know.
I suppose I can see the resemblance. You don't really take after the general, though.
Of course I don't look like the general. Why would I? Oh no. Not him. Mom.
I hate to be kept waiting like this, but the demand for red crystals is so high these days. Where do you come in from?
We just arrived from Nareem.
Well, you might be out of luck then. You can't get a meeting with him unless he thinks you come from a rich province.
Get your hands off me!
You heard General Enzo. You have to leave immediately.
Hey! Take your hands off of Armando!
Where do you think you're going, huh? No one is allowed near General Enzo.
Christopher, you're home! I was afraid you'd never come back. Guards, stand down.
Oh, terribly sorry, ma'am. Please go ahead, Mr. Christopher, sir.
What finally brings you back home, dear?
It wasn't really a planned thing.
Won't you introduce us to your friends?
It's complicated. They're, time mages.
Excuse me, miss, but you have a beautiful home. It reminds me of my own village, only grander.
Thank you. We've been very fortunate. Now that we've modernized the production of rubies, all of St. Clarity has been thriving.
You sure all of St. Clarity? Last I checked, Floodside is kinda... Floodside.
Well, Floodside doesn't really seem like it's thriving.
Yeah, what he said!
It will just take time. Eventually the prosperity will reach everyone.
Bitch, please. Trickle-down economics just doesn't work.
I would think so-called time mages would be able to see that future for themselves.
And you wanna know what we see? My size 8's up your ass.
What are you doing with this guy? all the people you could pick.
You might be Sophia's son, but I'll thank you to treat me with respect.
Yeah, okay. Look, we just want to know what happened to the stained glass mural that got removed from the cathedral. The priest said you were the one who ordered it. Just tell us where it is, and I promise you can go crawl back under your dung heap.
I see you inherited your father's low-class irreverence. Unlike him, most hardworking citizens look up to me.
I don't know about that. Everyone in Floodside kinda hates you. And they work pretty hard.
They pretty much have to, since you live up here on a walled-in hill.
Christopher, please, enough of this. I know the mural you're talking about. It was dumped in the waters by the docks years ago, along with other trash from the cathedral.
Come on, CrisTales, let's go find it. We're done here.
Thinking about it, when I get around to editing this and the rest of the episodes of CrisTales, I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of smash cutting, huh? Just to cut out some of these load times. Or I could just leave them in. I'm still not sure about my approach.
What do you think that is out there?
It's an ancient titan, one of the witnesses. Scholars say they're meant to remind us that the lady is always watching.
It looks like one of my grumpy aunts.
Look, something's happening to it.
The hell?
Did you all just see that? The giant statue moved!
I feel something inside that staff.
It appears we have been invited to enter. What do you think could be inside?
Only one way to find out.
Well, first, I feel like we should probably... no! Too far! I was gonna say, maybe we should look around for that junk. The base of the mirror, too. But I don't see it anywhere. Oh well, I guess we have no choice but to go inside. Oh, that looks pretty.
Oh, who is it this time? It's been ages since I've had a visitor.
And the last ones were little more than thieves.
Who? Ah, hello, darling. You must be a... Oh, how interesting.
You didn't answer my question.
Oh, sorry. I was admiring... Well, never mind.
Well, hello. I am Paulina, witness of the ages. Ah, it feels good to be able to move again. My first love is fashion, but I'm always interested in talking to a time mage. Especially one who recently lost her powers.
Would you care to explain how you knew that?
I see your shorts match your fuse. Just because I look this good doesn't mean I can't also be good at what I do.
No, that ribbon in your hair is kinda, obscenely big.
I don't suppose you could help us figure out what to do about CrisTales' powers, could you?
Oh, yes. Well, I won't be doing much of anything. It will be on you to remedy that situation. Just step over to the altar.
Huh?
I feel something, but I don't know if...
Golly. And
You!
Volcano?
What are you doing here? Just when CrisTales doesn't have her ouch!
Christopher!
How could you be so careless?
Did you hear this, Claude? I think he really believes you'll beat us twice.
Too bad we can only kill him once. Maybe Her Grace will let us rewind him a few times. For sport.
Everyone listen! We need to focus on inflicting as much indirect damage as we can.
Oh, that's very cute! Strategize all you want, we'll still pound you to smithereens.
This will be interesting. I do hope you all at least put on a good show.
Kicking off this episode with a boss battle, we've got the Volcano Twins. We already know how they work. They're not all that different from last time. Of course, the big difference is we don't have the ability to meddle with time and thrust their shield. We need to find some other means of dealing with them. On the bright side, though, we have Wilhelm, so we can just throw you Contra. Poof.
Oh, how quaint! They've been training for this rematch. You do know we can be ruthless without being overconfident, don't you?
Powder in terms of damage. But then again, we're also doing powder in terms of damage. So it's kind of a take-your-pick situation. 68 ain't bad, though. Nag. Unfortunately, Wilhelm's gonna be kind of useless after applying that poison. Like, maybe I could plant a Euchondra for much later just to refresh the poison. But aside from that, he's another beat stick. And not a great one. And splish.
CrisTales, you need to reach out to the power of the cathedral.
But how?
Whatever it is you felt before, you need to find that again.
Hurry!
Well, whatever she did. Seems to have worked.
Power? What is this? This doesn't feel the same as before.
Oh, darling. Do I have to do everything around here? That kid with the big mouth. I'm sure you can feel something inside you.
Is she talking about me?
Focus inside. And while you do that, think of the girl with the tragic fashion sense.
Ouch! Paulina being a bitch.
You do the same, girl, except you think of the kid with the regrettably tacky goggles.
I'm trying.
While you two try to connect, let me explain how this works. As you fight, you'll gather energy. Synchro points, if you will. When you have enough energy, you'll be able to activate a powerful synchronization skill. You can trigger it by just pressing the button.
By doing so, you'll flip the menu from the basic action menu to the synchro action menu. Christopher is a bit of an exception out of the party. Every single other party member that you gets only one of these that I can actually figure out. But then again, they might get a second. I haven't gotten far enough to double-check that. Christopher instead gets Brand as his ability. For every element that he can gain access to, he can apply a brand to the target, allowing him to deal heavy damage with CrisTales' basic attack, and inflict a specific ailment on them.
Use the crystals.
As either a water, a fire, or an electrical element. His ailment. He doesn't gain access to Earth, unfortunately.
God damn it! Not this again! This is so unfair!
Quickly, back to the Empress.
Impressive.
Synchros are powerful abilities that can turn the tide of battle around. Always keep an eye on it and your friends, since you'll also be able to use this power on their turns. Don't forget to plan ahead. Remember that you don't lose stored synchro points after you finish a battle.
The crystals! I have their power again! But that connection, what was that? I don't really know how it happened.
Now we know that you're the real thing, darling. You just proved you have the power to link with those close to you.
This seems like an incredible power, but be careful and take it slowly.
I can feel it. I can feel your presence. All of you.
I can feel it too. Does this mean we're combining our powers?
Syncing would be more precise. We are using our powers in a more unified way. This seems to connect all of us, but only through CrisTales. A great discovery indeed. It could have happened in a less dangerous way, though.
Don't be so melodramatic. This is a holy place. You were never in any real danger.
So what do we do now?
Come on. We should try to rest a little bit. Let's find somewhere back in town.
Come back and visit any time. Maybe I can even pick out something that would flatter your figure, darling.
But yeah, what she was mentioning about being able to use it on turns other than CrisTales, essentially, during CrisTales' turn, she can use any synchro for any party member, the other party member. So, on CrisTales' turn, if you have synchros unlocked for Wilhelm and Christopher, then you could pick either one of those two. But, say if it were Christopher's turn, you can use Christopher's synchro with CrisTales, but Christopher doesn't have a synchro with Wilhelm. Actually, all the characters operate that way. So no character has a synchro outside of one with CrisTales.
Mom? What are you doing out here?
I have a favor to ask.
Aren't you in a relationship with the most powerful man in the city? Why not ask him?
It's not that simple. When Enzo came to power, he did a lot for the economy of the city. He found investors who helped us modernize the production of the rubies.
What are these rubies?
They're what you get when you fuse together a lot of red crystal dust. The dust exists as a trace mineral in many things, and it has magical properties. It has many uses in magic devices, and can even be used to create armor and weapons. That's why rubies are so valuable.
We've been exporting more of them than ever before. But there are things about the operation that Enzo has been hiding, even from me. One of the teams of workers that went up Mount Thysia never came back. The official story is that they were delayed by a rock slide, but I know it's not true. And now the people in Floodside are starting to notice. I'd like for you to investigate.
I'm home for one day and you're already sending me away again?
No, I saw that fight you just had, and you and your friends are the only ones I know who don't work for Enzo. And you, CrisTales, really are a time mage. Please, use your powers to find out what happened to the missing workers.
I'll do it.
Thank you. Come and see me privately afterwards.
CrisTales, what do you want to do?
I want to
Make a save just in case. Hop. No, 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 no. Almost did that again. I do not want to lose that stream file, because if I do, that means I need to play through at least 20 hours of the game again. I do not have the schedule for that. I do, however, have the schedule for that. Because something you'll need to pay attention for.
What is it, CrisTales?
I can see Sophia and Enzo in the past, but I can't quite hear what they're saying.
Perhaps I can take a closer look.
God damn it. This. It is a really good idea to do all these side quests, because by doing so, you will permanently affect the area.
Oh, hi. Nice to see you again.
Looks like your shop is doing pretty well.
I'm getting by. But progress has been hard since Enzo started monopolizing all the red crystal.
You're brilliant. I'm sure you can find a solution.
No, I agree with you. In fact, I think I have a solution.
Go on.
We actually have a lot of old machines, bones, and other broken objects with red crystal in them already here in the city. If I had the right tech...
If you don't have the equipment, who does?
Well, back before we completely automated the refining process, we had hand-based tools. But I can't find one anywhere to copy its design.
Where do we fit into this plan of yours?
If you know someone who used to work in the extraction process 20 years ago, they might have an old one lying around. Or a design.
My old man might have something like that.
Maybe we should ask Armando then.
If I remember correctly, there are 3 side quests that we can do in this city currently. Ah, and also, plenty of chests in the past and future. I would highly recommend doing these side quests, because, yes, unfortunately, each and every one of them are missable. With maybe one exception, very, very later on, but even then that's because it's endgame. There is one I really, really want to do right now, because after a certain point, it is impossible to do. And it revolves around these flowers. God. A little closer, Matthias, please. Thank you.
A beautiful red rose.
We don't have the side quest quite yet, but when we do have access to it, we're going to be coming back here just so we can collect these flowers. There are at least a few in the city, and there's one of them that's missable if you don't talk to a specific NPC at a specific point in time.
Wait. Let's just listen for a minute.
Alright, here are those documents, and further, a mana potion.
A box with some rugged old papers.
Oh, right. We actually have to progress story a little first before we can actually interact with that. This is the wrong place to do that, because we need to go up this ramp.
It's time for the hands that built this town to take a share of its riches. No more low pay for dangerous work. No more breaking our backs without a chance to even see a doctor. No more wearing rags and living in hovels. They say they need more red crystal for the war. But what does it matter to us who rules the CrisTales if we just suffer and die like animals here?
Your
You are
father has a
animals.
rather deft way with words.
I don't know that words matter if you don't have the power to back them up.
But he's right. What did you say? Mr. Armando is right. I've seen the future, and I know that this whole district will be permanently flooded, and everyone will be gone.
Wait, is she for real?
You're one of those time mages who came with my son, aren't you? Can you really see our future?
It is true. I can see that this whole district will be flooded permanently. But I also learned that nothing is inevitable. I'm sure you can stop it.
Well, whatever you claim to see in the future, I can see the present. And I know that they will try to crush us. But we will not let them. No more mysterious disappearances on the mountain. Let them try to replace us with automatons. They will fail! The wealth of St. Clarity will belong to those who work for it!
You give a rousing speech, sir.
I speak the truth. That's all any of us can do.
Hey, Dad.
By the by.
Oh, Christopher. I'm glad to see you're still around.
You used to work on the mountain, back when they still used hand tools?
Huh. Straight down to business, I see.
You were like, what, a supervisor, right?
Yes, I was one of the few who knew how to read.
So, do you have any old documents from then? Old repair guides and stuff?
What are you up to exactly?
We're trying to help, really.
Alright then. They're in the boxes beside the house. But you should know, a lot of them got damaged a few years back. I should have gotten rid of them a long time ago.
Alright, so now we can properly advance that quest.
He was right. These are in rough shape.
Maybe we could do something about that. CrisTales, I think finding old documents should be easy with your powers.
You got that right. So it's mostly Matthias that's gonna be doing the heavy lifting.
These must be the blueprints Audrey was talking about.
Were these the documents you were looking for?
Wow. They look like the drafting ink is still fresh. Was Armando keeping these in a sealed glass case?
Nah, but we have some tricks.
Wow. These almost make me feel nostalgic. That smell. It's like they were printed yesterday. Oh, I didn't think about this part.
Let me guess. There's another request somewhere in that statement?
Ah, well, guilty as charged. If I'm going to rebuild this, I'm going to need a power cell. Well, this is gonna be difficult. I need a power cell now. Maybe you could find one in an old robot somewhere?
I doubt we'll be able to find something like that, but we'll do our best.
At least for now, that quest gets checkpointed. Because there's not much we can do. So to that end, let's advance the story a little bit.
Christopher, if you were around more, I could make that panela con queso you love so much, as often as you like.
That hurts. That pronunciation hurts. Sorry, just Hispanic origins. Panela con queso. If I remember correctly, it's cheese bread. Now entering Malthesia. How lush. I can get used to this. Okay, maybe not the guy getting absolutely gangbanged by doggos, but I could get used to this. Let's make his day.
Someone, please! Help!
Someone is being attacked by wolves!
Quickly, we should help him.
Alright, time to manage these pups. First, eat you into the past. And I believe a water bubble will be enough for you. Or not. Fine then. Let's plant you, Contra. I mean, I could heal a party member, but I think the better idea is just gonna be to take out this wolf on the right. If I break this past crystal, eat him into the present, and poison. I can also tack on an extra water bubble for additional damage. And it's down due to the damage from poison. And you conjure Restoring. We're gonna be taking advantage of that one a lot.
Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Whew, all things considered, I think I'm well enough. Just had to move a bit faster than I'm fit to.
Those wolves were unusually aggressive.
I just wanted to gather some flowers. All of them had died during the fighting. Didn't have no place for them. So they built a memorial in the forest by Nareem. Anyways, my sister's in there. Didn't have nothing to do with the fighting, but it still took her anyway. Like I said, I just wanted to get some flowers for her. All kind of flowers used to grow on the mountain, but now it seems there ain't any.
I'm so sorry for your loss. Is there anything we can do?
Well, you could help me gather flowers for the memorial. 5 or so different kinds should be good. Used to be. Folks would plant brightly colored flowers everywhere around town. Might be some older folks in town still have them. You could ask around.
That particular line's gonna be important. This is the only opportunity that you can go back to town and get those flowers. Once you complete this dungeon, you lose the ability to complete this quest. Going back to town also has an additional effect, if I remember correctly. Our third side quest. So, the 5 flowers that we need, one of them is right here. So slow. That's the blue rose. Another one is right over here. The purple rose. Then I believe we can get a third.
Hey, Christopher, how long has it been?
Hey, Richard. Hi, Mr. Samuel. I'm doing a little favor for a few people.
You're back and already hard at work? You sure take after your father.
We're trying to restore the memorial for the people who died in the uprising. It's not safe for ordinary people to go there alone.
That's not gonna bring anyone back. But it's a nice thought, if I'm being honest. I still haven't stopped having dreams where I see my mother again.
I won't pretend like I can cure you of your grief. But we won't be here for much longer. So maybe you can help us by donating some flowers?
There's the orange.
Yeah, sure. My father grows a special kind. Why don't... Yeah, just go ahead and take one of those.
So that's 3. From either the left or the right side here. I might be misremembering. But even then, there's still a chest. The red rose. As for the 5th flower, I don't 100% remember where that is. Because I don't think I completed this side quest when I was on my original file, the stream file. Maybe the 5th flower is up above? I want to figure this out.
Hey,
Sure, I can spare a bit.
Hey, thanks. This'll go a long way for me.
I didn't even know I could tip him. I wonder if I could turn around his fate by giving him enough money. So, where's Isabella, then?
Oh, well.
Oh, there you go.
If it isn't Christopher, nice to see you.
It's good to be back, Isabel. How are you doing?
I'm taking it day by day. Not that it's getting any easier.
Well, you haven't lost anything in the style department.
We all need something to distract us from life's disappointments.
I was sorry to hear about your father.
What can you do? I've been planning to go to the forest to visit him soon. I wanted to plant this rose.
We've been collecting roses for the memorial. Do you want us to plant yours too?
This one is almost fully grown. If you could put it up there for him, I'd be forever grateful.
There we go, the last rose.
Oh my, you really went out of your way to get all these flowers? Imagine that. Well, let me see about doing my part.
Don't you think that the symbolism of flowers for the dead is a little... inappropriate?
What do you mean?
Why pick something that withers so quickly? Isn't that a little, I don't know, extra morbid?
Flowers are an expression of beauty too, aren't they? Life is beautiful because it's fragile.
Don't bother with him. He either gets it or he doesn't.
All right, then. Let's see if this'll do. Have a look now.
Wow, it's beautiful. You are very skilled, mister.
Thanks, lady. Please make sure this reaches the memorial.
And let's get on task. That's some really, I hope that isn't blood. Because if it is, then, I think we know the fate of the, missing people.
It's just the color the water takes when we harvest the red crystal.
Oh, good, good. I thought that, people had actually died here.
Red crystal is found in the soil here in small amounts. Plants absorb it, and the animals eat the plants. The animals end up with lots of the crystal in their fat and bones. Back in the day, the people would pan for crystal dust in a stream. Some would also hunt old or sickly animals for it.
That's horrible.
As brutal as it sounds, hunting the oldest and weakest creatures keeps the rest of the herd healthy.
I suspect the practice has become something else entirely now. They must be processing a lot more animals to keep up with the volume. Still, we should continue to move forward.
Doesn't that sound like a few things in our current modern day society? Cops in meat production. But it's good to know that all this red fluid isn't blood, and it's really... Okay, maybe there's some blood mixed in there after. Oh, good. And how appropriate. For that death, we get an L.